Good afternoon. I am going to call this meeting of the Group Insurance Committee to order at 4 p.m. on Thursday, June 24th, 2021. Item 1.01. No, I guess that was what I just did. 1.02. Sorry, it's weird being back in person and wearing a mask doing this. 1.02. Roll call. Mr. Munson.
Present.
Okay. Mike?
Present.
Rachel?
Present.
Serena? Absent. Diane is absent. Tony is absent. Tony Moresco?
Here.
Don?
Present.
And Robert Munson, present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. 1.03, moving into our first public comment. Comment from the public are invited at this time on topics not specifically addressed elsewhere in the agenda. Do we have any public comment? No? Okay. 1.04, action to adopt the agenda. Items on the agenda may be taken out of order. The public body may combine two or more agenda items for consideration, and the public body may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussion related to an item on the agenda at any time. So I'm looking for a motion.
Jeff Balzo, I move to adopt the agenda.
Tony Moresco, I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. All right. Moving down to 2.01, presentation and discussion of the Washoe County School District Group Insurance Claim Experience Report as of May 2021. It's nice to see you. I'm not on a screen. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Lloyd Barnes, LP Insurance, and it's good to see everyone as well. I feel like I wanted to jump up and do a dance or something since we're all here in person. Okay, so we're going to go over the claims data through May. As you see up on the screen and or in your packets, the month of May was a bit of a high-cost month, which we'll talk about in a little bit more detail in a minute. But on Exhibit 1, the executive summary, you can see there through the month of May, our enrollment counts are down just slightly, about 1.6, which I'm sure HR knows well, trying to fill all those positions. From a paid claims standpoint, on line 4, you can see costs through the first 5 months of the year are up about 3% compared to all of last year, at $5 million average per month, which yields a composite cost of $693 per employee, up about 4.5 from the $662 from last year. Fixed costs are up just slightly at $426,000 compared to $418,000 last year, for a total plan cost of $5.466 million average per month versus $5.3 million last year, up 2.8. with a total net composite cost per employee of $751 versus $719, so up about 4.5%. Our large claims at this stage of the game are still down nicely, down 16 from compared to last year. And I'm not going to go into the detail of the PPO and the HSA, other than you can see there that the PPO costs are fairly stable. HSA costs have been hovering up a bit, and as is the enrollment costs or the enrollment counts for the HSA plan. Exhibit 2, spent a little time with this graph in the last couple months because it's helped us with some of our conversations around rates. And as you can see there, that little finicky little blue line's been ticking back up, and it continues to tick up on an average rolling 12-month average costs. Going to Exhibit 3. Here's where we get into the details of the May claims. You can see there, May was a pretty big month, and you can see on line 30 there, Total costs on a claims basis was $5.8 million, 5,848,100 for a composite cost per employee of $805. So that was a little bit lower than March, but also, a pretty big month from that standpoint. Our fixed cost added in there gives us a total composite cost per employee on line 35 of $864. Taking that over to the far right, as I mentioned earlier, that gives us an average for the first 5 months of $751 versus $719. So it is up a bit. I think it's certainly not something of major concern considering what we've gone through so far with rate setting already. But it's certainly, it's starting to kick up a little bit, and we have seen this with a few of our other, large self-funded clients. So I do think, as we've talked before, I think it's something we need to be prepared for and continue to keep our eye on.
Lloyd, can we ask some questions on this?
Of course you can.
Okay, I think Jeff was question.
Thanks. Lloyd, so the uptick in expenses, is that due to more utilization by members, or are we starting to see those inflationary costs that we've discussed in prior meetings finally take place?
I would say at this point, it appears to be mostly utilization based. Again, some of the cost uptick that we have been anticipating has to do with potential usage for people that have delayed care, and for contract adjustments that as we move into new contract terms. I don't have any reason to believe that your plan is experiencing any of the contract term adjustments at this point. Can't say that there's not any increased utilization due to people having delayed care, but I think the general feeling on that part of it is going to be, it's going to be slow and growing. There's not going to be any. You're not going to be able to say that's all attributable to that. So there could be some of that in there. I think really a lot of it is we're getting back to some normalcy. And so as our costs are now coming back to normal and now trend, which is, we always see trend every year. We see inflationary trend, right? But that all just sort of stopped for a while. And now we're starting to see all that, I think, rematerialize.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
All right, thank you for the explanation.
And Lloyd, looking at over the past couple years too, so March is our spring break. So we always seem to have an uptick during those 2 weeks because people can get to a doctor.
Well, just a little point of clarification.
Okay.
Remember, all of these claims are lagged.
Right.
So what you're seeing in May most likely happened 1 to 3 months ago.
Okay.
So, because you're
So
going to
sometimes
see
we have upticks
somewhere
for that.
between a 30 and 90 day lag to paid claims versus when it was actually experienced.
Okay.
Just keep that in
Because
mind.
our past seems to be like related. You can always see when we've had a break, spring break,
Yep.
Christmas
You
break
def-
as we're ending
yeah.
the year.
You definitely have cyclical
And then
factors.
like our retirees and our people who are leaving whose insurance drops off around July 1, they are finishing up. So we kind of have these upticks, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
you're an employer that has, and for two reasons. One, your size, you can actually see it.
Mm-hmm.
Small employers, it's harder to see those cyclical variations. Plan like yours, you do have some trends of when your costs are a little higher. Then you have also multiple claim months where you have a 5-check run month, and May very well could have been that. I didn't pull that data specifically, so it's not uncommon to have a couple of months where your costs are higher just because there was more checks cut in that month.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So the next exhibits are the breakout of active and retirees, and then by plan. I'm not going to go into those at any level of detail. Certainly happy to ask questions if anything comes up for either the plans or the active or retiree breakdown. And then Exhibit 12 at the very end is basically just our large claims report that we usually talk about briefly each month. And we had one new claim start to be tracked at the $200,000 level, a $250,000 claim that's now being tracked. The other three have been relatively stable. So again, back to Jeff's question, doesn't appear that it's like an onslaught of a bunch of large claims either. So I think it's just sort of a general coming back to some normalcy and starting to see that those trends catch up to us, so to speak. So nothing real significant here. It's still very early in the stop loss policy year to from that standpoint. Any other questions?
I think we're good.
Thank you all.
Thank
It's good seeing
you.
everyone.
2.02, presentation discussion of the Washoe County School District Group Insurance Anthems Claim Activity and Turnaround Report as of May 2021.
Hi, Pam Davidson from Anthem, for the record. So I cannot technically see the screen, so I'm going to read off my own, and I'm hoping you have the medical one up right now versus the dental. Okay, perfect. So in the month of May, we had a total claims between the PPO and the HSA of 13,448 claims that were processed. Out of those, 97% were processed in the 14 days, 99.11% processed in 30, and then 99.93 in 60 days, and 99.96 in 90 days. Out of those processed claims in May, 12,187 were on the PPO plan, and 1,261 were on the HSA plan. The RX claims are processed at point of service, and in May, we had 7,182 pharmacy claims processed. Does anyone have any questions on the medical or the pharmacy turnaround? Okay.
Any
So-
questions?
All right, moving down to the dental turnaround report. Now, dental pretty much is time of service. So in the month of May, we had 2,002 processed claims, and within the first 14 days, 97.61 were processed, and then within the 30 days, it's 2.39, the rest of them were processed. So you have 100% processed in the dental portion. So dental, once a claim is processed, it has to be paid and done within 30 days. Okay, so there's usually no things that travel on beyond that on dental unless something is denied and they go through appeals, and then it's just not a claim that's processed at all. Does anyone have any questions?
Any?
Well, simple. Good
Thank
seeing
you.
everyone. All
Nice seeing you.
right, bye.
Hopefully it's stopped raining and you can get out without getting wet. 2.03, presentation discussion of the Washoe County School District Insurance Wellness Program Report to cover current events and programs, Mindful Minute Challenge, Summer Wellness Bingo, and updates on the 2020-21 health assessment as of May 2021.
Hello, everyone. Janelle Dye for the record, Washoe County School District Wellness Coordinator, and it's great to see everybody in person, not on a screen. So we have the June 2021 Wellness Report here, and we're going to start with the recap of the events, programs, and challenges. And we wrapped up the Mindful Minutes Challenge in May. Last time we met, I think it was currently happening. So just some information on that. The participants chose their daily goal for the Mindful Minutes, and then they tried to work towards that goal. Those who reached at least 75% went into a raffle, and we had 3 winners who were drawn. They got a $50 Amazon gift card, and we have our winners listed here. We don't use the last names, but they are real people, and they got it. They were all really excited, too. So those were our winners for that challenge. And then if you take a look at the company results, if you scroll down a smidge, thank you. We have 502 players who participated, and this was the first time we ran a challenge like this. It was a different style of challenge than we typically run, and so this was the first time we did it, and it was only 2 weeks, so sort of like a short and sweet challenge. We had 502 people The average player minutes was 194, so that's the total for the 2 weeks. And then our total minutes, mindful minutes for our entire participant group was 97,500. And the average daily goal for the group was 18 minutes. And then if you look at the actual, it ended up being 14 minutes a day. So I thought that was pretty cool that we came pretty close to the goal, the average daily goal. And then that's everything recap-wise. And then we have our current events, programs, and challenges. We have right now going on the Summertime Wellness Bingo. This is an off-platform challenge that we decided to offer this summer. So you do not need to participate using Virgin Pulse. It's not associated with points or anything. The rewards are going to be off-platform. So we have that for June and July. June is currently going on. And everyone can just access the materials and directions and instructions on the wellness website. And we had 469 people who registered as of 6/9. I think we did have a few more people jump on board. I had more people when I sent out the email this week. So we have a few more that joined in. And just a reminder for that, there are going to be 3 winners drawn per month, and those winners are going to receive a $100 gift card of choice. So we've done that in the past, and people really enjoyed choosing their gift card. And then upcoming, so that's the only thing currently going on in the summer. And then upcoming, we have our wellness program refresh. So August 1, that's a big date. That's when the program will refresh, points start over. We basically start the new program, the wellness program year. The mailer for that, for our annual wellness mailer with all the information will go out the first week of August. And then I skipped over this, and I'm not sure why, but the health assessment has some updates this year, and we're pretty excited about the updates. The first one is that it is NCQA accredited now, and that's sort of a big deal. That stands for National Committee for Quality Assurance. And the goal of that organization is to improve the quality of healthcare. So the fact that the health assessment is accredited by that is a big deal in the worksite wellness world. In addition to that, we also have the ability to send confirmation emails for those who complete it. They'll receive that confirmation within 24 hours. This is huge. I did a major happy dance when this was confirmed that we could do this. So this was a big deal for a lot of our members asking if this could be done, and we will be able to do that this upcoming year. And then another big deal for the health assessment is that it's not going to show any sign of completion unless it's actually complete. So the health assessment before, it would still populate a score, even if it wasn't all 43 questions were answered. So that will not happen this time. So those are some big updates as far as the health assessment goes. And that's all I have, and I'm happy to answer questions.
Any questions from the committee? Nope.
All right. Well, thank you. Great to
Thank
see everybody.
you.
Yes.
You almost made it. 3.01, public comment. Do we have any public comment? No? Okay. Before we move on to 3.02, so I'm breaking open meeting law, and I want to thank Jackie. Because I don't know if you guys know, this is our last meeting with Jackie as she's retiring to go be with grandbaby. I mean, it's all awesome, but we haven't been in person, and I wanted to take a few minutes and thank her for all the work she's done and dealing with some tough questions from us sometimes, and and working through them and never getting too upset with us because she knew the good of it was for the good of everything. So thank you, and thank you for always looking out for our employees and making sure we had a good program. We really do appreciate it.
Very much. I've enjoyed working with all of you, so thank you. I'm going to miss you all. So, but I'm sure you'll continue on and do great work.
We've had a good base. So, yeah. All right. So honestly, Jackie had 19 minutes for our meeting, and we didn't quite do it because I had to say that. 3.02, announcement of the next meeting, September 23rd, 2021.
Here.
Okay. At the Central Administration Building, boardroom, at 425 East 9th Street in Reno. And 3.03, we are adjourned.